Find a way to resurrect a law that would shield children from internet pornography. Tuesday, the Supreme Court blocked the law from taking effect. NBC's Pete Williams reports.
Like millions of children, 13-year-old Hunter Stevens of San Diego says he sometimes stumbles across pornography on the web.
You'll be seeing on like a Care Bears website, something, you don't want something like that to pop up.
Neither does his working mom, Vicky, who finds she can't monitor how all her children use the internet.
I have 5 kids, and all 5 of them will be on different computers at a different time, so I can't watch them all at once.
To shield children from sexually explicit material, Congress passed a law requiring commercial websites that contain it to allow access only by adults using a credit card or other method to verify age. But the Supreme Court ruled that the law cannot be enforced because the government has failed to show that less restrictive alternatives that would burden less expression wouldn't be just as effective at protecting children. For example, the court said filtering or blocking programs installed on a family's computer might work even better because they'd stop pornography coming from overseas, beyond the reach of U.S. law. But supporters of the law are skeptical that such programs provide children enough protection.
When they leave the home, when they can go to a friend's house or they have a job, they have a laptop. Today, some of them have palm computers. It's so easy for kids to access pornography outside of the home.
For now, the government will try again to convince the courts that the law is narrowly drawn enough to protect children without restricting material that's legal for adults. For today, Pete Williams, NBC News at the Supreme Court.
Donna Hughes is the president of Enough is Enough, a nonprofit group that works to make the internet safer. And Robin Johnson started a petition to have her son's school put up internet firewalls after he stumbled on internet pornography at school. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Let me start with you, Donna, if I could. Since its onset, apparently in the early 90s, the online pornography industry has grown to a $1.5 billion business annually, and 74% of pornography websites have free pictures, and only 3% require adult verification. The Supreme Court ruling must be pretty disappointing for you.
Oh, it's very disappointing and devastating. It's grievous, actually, because what this law would have done and what Congress attempted to do was a rifle-shot approach to require pornographers, the source of this problem, to have some measure of responsibility to actually shield children, only minor children, from seeing all of these hundreds and thousands of free pictures that are on their site. Now, not only that, the pornographers trick children to getting to their site, so it's very, very difficult, even when you instruct a child of good sites to go to and those to avoid, they get tricked into these sites by typing in something as innocent as girls, boys, Britney Spears, or something like that. They can get routed to a porn site, and then once they get there, they're often trapped by the pornographer and can't get out. So it's an insidious problem.
We'll talk about what parents can do in a moment, Donna, but Robin, I know when your son was just in 2nd grade, he was at school, he was doing some research on Michael Jordan on the computer. What happened?
He had put in a search that had famous men in it, and hardcore pornography instantly came up. And then something happened called mousetrapping, where he had been hitting the back escape button trying to get out of that site. The more he tried, the further it went in.
I understand he was pretty traumatized by this, Robin.
Absolutely. I had no idea that it could have such an impact on him, but he saw things that he couldn't possibly comprehend at 8 years old. And he said things like, I just don't feel like I'm myself anymore. It made me want to throw up. I could never talk about what I saw for the rest of my life.
I know that I know that you petitioned, Robin, the school board to have internet firewalls put up. Did that help alleviate the problem?
Absolutely. I checked, followed up on it for 2 years with the computer tech at our school, and found out that, you know, the old software that they were talking about was taking education and material away from kids. But the new software that is available now, if there is a problem, in a matter of seconds they can remedy it. And
I was going to ask Donna, I'm sorry to interrupt, Robin, but Donna, I know there are internet blocking devices. Are they adequate?
They're very important, and we've been teaching for years, Katie, the importance of safety rules and software tools. Parents are still the first line of defense, and unfortunately, with this decision coming down, they're the only line of defense. Parents must teach their children safety rules, but they have to implement some type of filtering. The filtering is very good now. It is very unwise to let a child go online without rules and tools in place, and there's so many for parents to choose from. But it's like the seatbelt protection, and that what it will do is it will help guard against the intrusion of unwanted pornography. Now, it's not going to block all of it, and there, of course, is still a very important role for law enforcement and government, which is why all these years we've promoted a three-prong approach between the public, which would be parents, schools, and anybody at the end user, the technology industry, and then law enforcement and government. And each part of that three-legged stool must be doing its part. And unfortunately, once again, the stool continues to be lopsided with the sole burden falling on the parent.
And you can get these blocking devices through your internet providers, right? And there are companies which can supply them as well?
Absolutely. You can get filters that you put on your computer. We actually think the ones that sit on servers are better, like the parental controls. And then there are other companies that simply filtering is what they do, like BeSafe.com and Max.com. And people can go to our site at ProtectKids.com, and we have all that information available for them to help educate the parent and then empower them to protect their children. And it's so important that they do.
It really is. Donna Rice-Hughes and Robin Johnson, thank you both so much for being here this morning.
Katie.
Thanks, Robin.
Thank you, Katie.